Hey everyone, today's video is about when you don't feel pain. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Let's get going. Tanjiro Kamado. It took him a lot longer than he would have liked to click about your condition. Tanjiro had noticed the scars. I mean, who couldn't when they were so boldly etched into your skin? And the scent of blood that always seemed to follow you. But he only realized that the smell of blood was your own. At the same time, he found out about your condition. When he managed to click on, Tanjiro felt an immense sense of guilt for not knowing or trying to find out sooner. Goes out of his way to try and find out about your condition, but becomes quiet, disheartened. When there isn't really anything to help you with that. Quickly notice that while you don't feel pain, you do feel it when he squeezes your hand or kisses you. The light pressure of him is something you can feel, so a lot of affection takes place. A constant state of mild panic when you just throw yourself into battle. And sometimes, even out of it, and going about your daily life, although you were quite careful with yourself. I mean, sometimes. Tanjiro now always carries a medical kit with him for when you injure yourself. Has to use his sense of smell to see whether or not your injury is serious or not. Now always carries some sort of food around because you don't feel pain. That also extends towards hunger pain. So you have one or two before collapse from hunger because you hadn't eaten before. There wasn't any particular reason for not eating. You just forgot about it since eating can sometimes just feel a little unnecessary, you know? It doesn't help that you're so unbothered about your injuries either. Like the pain never been there to begin with, but just act so nonchalantly about them. Oh, it seems like I'm bleeding again. Where is it coming from? Oh wait, my side. Looks like I got cut by that demon after all. I really do need to be more careful. Could panic Tanjiro, already with his medical kit out. But he loves you with all his heart and he wouldn't change anything. Zenitsu didn't know that he couldn't feel pain for ages. Felt absolute awe and admiration for you when you guys first met, because of how well you held yourself in battle. Plus the number of scars on you clearly meant that you'd been through a lot and lived through it. Also the fact that you never broke into a sweat while fighting them left him absolutely speechless. Your determination in battle, even though you were injured badly, made him feel braver. But over time, made Zenitsu concert for you. You ended up being injured far too often. Whenever your bones clicked, you'd never make a noise. Or even when your stomach growled, you'd never pay attention to it. Even when the others mentioned it, you'd just smile and thank them for the reminder. Other than Zenitsu, Tanjiro also started to become concerned for you. Zenitsu only really started fearing for you once a wound of yours had accidentally become infected, and you hadn't even noticed. It was only until Tanjiro had mentioned about a new sickly undertone to your scent, no more than a day later, that you'd actually bothered to check if you were injured. Spoiler, you were injured and badly. You had to be taken to the butterfly estate, where you were luckily fixed and told off by Shinobu for not taking care of yourself, because you usually were very careful. After that instant, Zenitsu keeps more of an eye on you, and a lot more things start to make sense about you. He almost, in a sense, becomes more brave or confident, pushing himself more in battle to protect you, which helps push you both into a relationship after he chucks himself into a battle that leaves him injured. Isn't as worried of himself as he used to be. Now, all that worry is reserved for you. It's like he's trying to make up for not bothering to know sooner about you. So I don't really have to remind him that you do love him, and even though you can feel pain, you can feel his kisses, and when he holds your hand. A new person's in his life that you must protect, worry, and look after. But he loves it. I mean, you do the same to him, and it still makes him blush. Then he's just thankful for having you in his life. You're a refreshing breath of air that just keeps him in his toes. Inosuke, not it's your presence and strength before anything else. Your presence actually caused the hairs on the nape of his neck to stand up. And he didn't like that. At all, because he couldn't place his fingers on why. Even after your first meeting, his request for fights. You were just so polite and kind. And yet, you had the strength and presence of a boar, which just served to piss him off even more because you always showed that off in battles with demons, and yet the no one fighting with him, no matter how strong he hit or swung his swords, he never flinched. Thought your scars were cool and something that you could show off with some more pride since you gained them in battles. Really didn't think much about how you gained the scars. He was slightly worried about how clumsy you seemed though. Sometimes forgetting to eat or even pushing yourself in fights too much. It wasn't until you broke, plus fractured, your hand, and still continued to fight that his pride left him, and an unspoken panic took his place, which quickly turned to anger at the fact you were still fighting while being so broken. It was one of the only times the group have seen Inosuke lose his shit over someone else's health. Actually starts to pay even more close attention to you. The thing that he thought was just you being a classic clumsy human was actually something that was quite hazardous to your health. Doesn't show it, but he does feel guilty for not paying attention to sooner, and your condition starts to notice that your body temperature is a lot higher than a normal human. Once he asks out of curiosity, and is really surprised to find out you can sweat. Why have a high temperature? Yeah, I can sweat, Inosuke. It comes with the whole thing not being able to feel pain thing. It was both worried and impressed. Even the whole group was, because there is always the chance to overheat and then collapse. Pretending not to care as much as he actually does. Goes out of his way to get food for you to eat because he knows that you sometimes forget. Mostly fruits or just anything that has a lot of sugar to keep your energy up. Learn basic medical knowledge to help you for when you injure yourself. Even though you do know how to patch yourself up, but it makes Inosuke happy. Just make sure to praise him for his help, because he's a baby. Yeah, I added that. It wasn't in the story. But thank you guys for listening. Hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Goodbye.